So I'm Cena Marie Washington. I am the founder and CEO of I Am a Vessel, and I'm excited to be helping you fill your Fridays up for the weekend. Filled Up Fridays is where we take words and wisdom and bridge them together to extract information that will fill us up for our weekend. Why? Because words have power. Words have power to ignite us. Words help us to have understanding, have knowledge and wisdom for our lives. It's how we communicate. It's how we were designed to communicate. And so words are so powerful, and we believe in that here at I'm a Vessel. And so we wanted to take the time out to help people have better perspective for the weekends. We know that the weekends is when a lot of things happen, and perspective and wisdom is always needed for the weekends. This is our way of helping people be their best and live their best lives. So today's Filled Up Friday, it was so good. The word is atonement. Atonement. You know, I was reading and studying this word throughout the week, and then I said, you know what? I need some confirmation to know if this is the word that I should be sharing with everyone today. And I drove past this building, and the word atonement, which is a rare word, pops up, and it's bold. And I'm like, okay, that's all the confirmation that I need. And so I know the word atonement is the word that I'm supposed to be sharing today. And I was absolutely correct, because we had a lovely guest on here today with us who had some great perspective, and we dug into this word because the word atonement is one of those big words. It's one of those words that have many different meanings, and really I could teach a whole lesson on it. We could have a whole conversation about it, a whole round table. So atonement, if we look at it from just a definition perspective, is reparation for a wrongdoing. A person taking action to correct previous wrongdoings on their part, directly or through an equivalent action. So I'm going to read that again, because that's huge. A person taking action to correct previous wrongdoings on their part, directly or through an equivalent action. An equivalent action. So I gave the example that, let's say someone owed you money, and you were asking them for the money. You asked them several times for the money. Months go by, maybe even a year go by, maybe years go by. You never get this large lump sum money, and you feel disrespected, and it ends your friendship, your relationship. Well, the act of atonement would be that person not only apologizing, but paying you back the money that they owed you. That could atone the situation between you and them. And the word atone means at one, harmony. So to bring the relationship back to a harmonious position would be what atoning the situation would do. So how big is this word? Because this word applies to so many different areas in our lives. And so let's go a little deeper, because the word atonement actually comes from, it's a religious word, a word within religion. Not necessarily a religious word, but it's used in religion. It's because it is reparation or explanation for sin. And the most important for me would be the reconciliation of God and humankind through Jesus Christ. Because Jesus Christ atoned the sins of mankind and redeemed mankind from sin. So that is what reconciliation in terms of religion means. And then there's a celebration that's called the Day of Atonement, where that is celebrated. But then there is another meaning, and that's the meaning of being at one in harmony. So, I always want to know what is the wisdom that we can extract from the word, not just the definition of the word, but we want to look at the wisdom that we can extract for our lives, especially over the weekends, but just in general from the word atonement. And there has been so many things that has happened to many of us in our lives that the word atonement, is showing up for a reason, because I believe that words, they don't just appear. When a word is presented before you, if you're looking at the replay, then this word is meeting you or finding you for a particular position. And this is one of those words that really challenges us to look at our maturity and look at our heart posture and how we view people and how we move forward throughout lives. Because, we're going to go through many things in life. But the key is, do we have the ability to make atonement and move forward? Because forgiveness is a part of what keeps us well, what keeps us healthy, what makes room for new things to happen in our lives. And so take it not lightly. Take this word not lightly. The word atonement is a huge word. And it's a word that will unlock futures. And so maybe this is a moment to help someone move forward to unlock a future. How we think is everything. And forgiveness affects how we think, how we live. And so this word, I believe, is very, very important and special for this time. And so let's continue to take a look at it. So when we look at the word atonement, it is said that it is a necessary step on a path to redemption. How many of you have been through something in your life where you need to redeem yourself, redeem time, redeem your childhood, redeem whatever it is that is super important but may have been taken away from you as because of an act or something that has happened to you where you desire to have atonement or you need some sense of atonement. So when we look at atonement, we can look at that within ourselves. And perhaps in a lot of ways, we have to take that perspective because we can't necessarily be responsible for what someone else does. So when we're looking at it from the perspective of ourselves, let me ask you this question. Is there an area in your life within yourself that you need to atone? Have you taken your own self for granted? What have you done to yourself that may have hurt yourself? And how can you make atonement within yourself to be stronger, better, and move forward? Comparing ourselves to other people does way more damage than we could ever imagine. Thinking ourselves not to be worthy, not seeing ourselves as the vessels that we truly are, the special and unique things about ourselves can do so much damage, and we should make atonement within ourselves. And as we've read, atonement is not just a thought. Atonement includes an action. It specifically says through an equivalent action. So what actions can you do to make atonement with yourself on a particular area? Being anything less than you were designed to be does a certain amount of damage to our hearts, our minds, and our spirits. How can you make atonement? Matter of fact, I'm going to give you a way. You can atone yourselves by waking up and being everything that you were born to be. Saying no more to being anything less. Seeing yourself anything less. Appreciating yourself any way less than you should. And you can make atonement by figuring out an equivalent act that will help redeem what you have been taking for granted within yourself. When we look at this from our family, our friends' perspective, our parents, where do we need the word atonement aligns with sacrifice, so when we forgive someone or when we are forgiven, there is a level of sacrifice. What are you willing to sacrifice to make atonement with someone? Are you willing to sacrifice pride? Are you willing to sacrifice resentment? Now, here comes something really, really interesting. The guest that we had on who joined us, she made a good point. She said, how do you make atonement with someone who do not take responsibility for the wrongdoing that they've done? Now, that brings on a whole nother level of perspective. Because how do you forgive someone who does not admit that they've done something wrong? And I believe this is where we have to pull on something bigger than ourselves. Because at the end of the day, we won't always get what we are due from others. We won't always get the love that we are due. We may not always get the apology that's due to us. We may not always get the money that's owed to us. We may not always get what we need from other people, but we have to find a way for the person to not be in control of how we conduct ourselves, how we posture our hearts, and how we think about our lives. And so this is a challenge. This is the very challenge. So this is a matter of sacrifice. Are you willing to sacrifice your happiness? Are you willing to sacrifice your future? So we must find ways to make atonement with things that we may not necessarily get what's due, but the atonement is necessary. And so I challenge you that if there is a huge, big thing in your life where you desire atonement, you need atonement to move forward, I think that there's a way that you can atone for yourself. I think that there's a way you can do an action for yourself to move forward. And I believe that starts with you seeking knowledge, seeking wisdom, going within yourself, praying, asking God, how can you make amends within yourself for the wrongdoing that someone else has done to you? Because sometimes that's necessary. That's necessary. Because we're designed to move forward and not to be stuck, no matter what we've been through in our lives. Because that's the amazing part of having a new day. Every day is a new day for us to start over. So I think that we've pretty much dug deep into this word. I'm going to make sure that I put the notes on our website and the replay. This is our third session, so I'm super excited to be sharing this with you guys. I really wish that you would have seen the original post because it was really good. Our guest, she gave amazing feedback. And so the wisdom that we've extracted from today is, what steps can you make to atone with someone? Is there someone that you can think about that you need to forgive, that you need to come to a reconciliation, that to move forward? What can you do? What act can you do? Have you wronged someone? And what act can you do to show, to make oneness, to have harmony with someone? That's the challenge. That's the challenge over, and this is a cure for offense. Offense stifles our lives. And so atonement, when we look at atonement and we look at, if we use Jesus Christ as an example and what he did to atone for sins that he did not do, that can give us so many examples of how we can do those same things for our relationships and our families. And we look at the word harmony, and at one in unity. What can we do to bring more unity no matter what has been done to us? What do we need to sacrifice? That's what we need to look at. And so I believe that this word was specifically for the people who are going to watch the replay, for the people who are going to hear this word. I think it's so timely for the world that we're living in today, where there is so much offense happening. There's so much tragedy happening, and atonement is so necessary for the goodness of our world to just exist, the very goodness of our world to exist. And so these words are necessary, and I'm not just picking these words out of anywhere. I believe that these words are needed and necessary. And so use this word, take this word, meditate on this word, and share this word. Utilize this word. Utilize this word, and think about all of the aspects and elements that go along with it. The sacrifice, the forgiveness, reconciliation, remorse. Maybe you need to have remorse for someone. Maybe you need to posture your heart to have forgiveness towards someone, even if you're the wrongdoer. You may be the wrongdoer. So this is what we're looking at. This is the word. And I know that this word will come. If you watch this, I know this word will present itself in a lesson, in a conversation, in a movie. I mean, that's just how it works. So I'm excited to hear about your experiences with the word atonement. Once again, I am Cena Marie Washington. I am the founder of I Am a Vessel. I'm excited that you will be watching this replay, that you have joined us. Our website is www.iamavessel.org. And also, I want to invite you to come out on Sunday. We are doing a community event. The information is on our page. We're going to repost it. We're going to be giving out some amazing mental wellness packages that are not ordinary packages. They're filled up with amazing things that will help you begin to dig deep inside, and have some information for you to begin to have just a daily life of wellness. And then there's so much more information and treats and different things inside of our wellness package. We're going to be giving those out. We're going to be signing up people for our workshops and trainings, not just youth, but adults as well. We teach mental and spiritual wellness workshops, trainings. We teach discovering who you are, workshops and trainings. Awesome trainings. I'm a Vessel is here to help build youth and community from the inside out. And so we want you to join us, and we're excited for what 2021 has in store. If you haven't gotten your copy of Get Woke Youth Sustainability Manual, man, you're missing out. We are selling these out. We're going to be doing a large a mail out batch tomorrow. We have people from all over the country that are reading this book. Adults have been raving about this book, and they're talking about how this book has so much information inside of it that is helping them in their own lives. And so that's really awesome to hear. We're excited about it. If you have a copy of Get Woke, please leave us a good review on Amazon. We would love, or you can email us a review to youthmove@iamavessel.org. I hope that you enjoy your weekend. Be safe. Spread love. Peace.